suppose it was comic type pieces about his neighbours, basically, which was a dangerous thing to do as a young lad in those days. But he wouldn't have written anything seriously then, really, I don't think, until the early 70s. He was probably preparing for his retirement, which he never actually reached. He died a month before his retirement age, actually.
And can you tell us a little about his writing career?
Well, he would have sent, first of all, he sent short stories and poems to the local papers. His aunt, who was Teresa Duggan, married to a man called William Clark from Cornano, just beside the school here. And she would have normally written, as there was a Christmas competition every year for the best Christmas story in the Anglo-Celt, which was the Cavan newspaper. So she would have submitted, and in general she would have won that. So I think he followed on from that. He started sending stories to the Anglo-Celt and so on. And then his post office trade union would have published his poems in their outpost, which was the trade union manual and so on, and general local papers. But he also would have, as he got braver, he sent stories to David Marcus, would say New Irish Writing in the Irish Independent and so on, so Irish Press.
And tell us how the book of his work came about.
Well, I suppose the book came about because I had a collection of all his poems from newspaper cuttings, etc., and the goodwill and good nature of my brother-in-law, who he used his office, he's a solicitor, and he used his office, the girls actually in their spare time would have actually compiled a lot of the work and got it into a manageable, onto a floppy disk, in other words, at the time. So, and then in 2009, I got as far as having it actually published through originalwriting.ie, and they would publish. I'd seen a friend of mine, Padjo Kennedy, who will be here tonight, his book, which is called Shadows on Our Doorstep, and it was a fine publication, so followed his steps and had From Mountain to Law published in 2009. We launched it in Acklamad.
With me now here is Seamus McCanny. Seamus, you're a poet in your own right. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your own writing career?
Well, actually, I'm more of a short story writer and a novelist, and I also work in local history. So I was aware of Matt Duggan's writing for a very long time, and then when the opportunity arose to get actually involved in the republication of his work, I was delighted, because I realised this is local literature that's very valuable, very powerful. And I seized the opportunity. I said, yes, Gerry, I think this is a great idea. We published the poems, and we were justified. Our faith in the literature has been proven by the response to it. And now the next step is that we hope to publish the collection of short stories. And they are a real treasure trove.
And where did you first come in contact with Matt Duggan's work?
I first saw the poems in the Irish Press, the now defunct national newspaper. Every Saturday it used to have a page of new Irish writing, and people, submitted poems and short stories. And it was the one place that people could get published. There aren't that many literary magazines. It was open to everybody. And there was always a little biography of each of the writers at the bottom, so you'd be looking to see where they came from. And lo and behold, there was somebody from Fermanagh, along with the people from Dublin and Kerry and Galway. And I started wondering, who is this Fermanagh writer? You never think that writers live near you. You always think writers live far away in exotic places. So to realise that there was somebody who was being published in the Dublin papers who lived as near to me as Derrylin, I thought this was wonderful, and I always kept an eye out for his work and wanted to know more about him. So as I say, then years later, when the opportunity arose, I seized it.